Let's do it. So, welcome to our second podcast. It's the Lippy and Racey Show. I'm Ace DeVille.
And I'm DJ LipGloss.
The Lippy and Racey Show.
So I'm really excited because on today's show, we talked about her a little tiny bit last week. We have Maria who's going to be joining us in the studio. She's actually moving to LA with us.
Absolutely.
So we're going to chat with her and she's going to join us and weigh in on some questions I asked you guys on Facebook to submit us some questions, and a lot of you did send us some really good questions, so we're going to give you our feedback on that. Okay? And and Roger, you also have a rant that you have for us.
Well, I always have something to say about something.
Always have something negative to say.
Let's just see how this goes, and it'll.
Yeah, let's feel it out. That sounds good. Let's feel it out. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Which we still have none of.
We don't have any sponsors. Okay, so let's talk about the Fetish Ball. It's coming up July 19th, and I tell you guys, we are going to have a real freak show, and it's only going to be $5 to get in.
Absolutely.
18 and up, $5, and you are going to get your fill. I tell you, you're going to be like a kid in a perverted candy shop. We are going to have any kind of fetish that you want to see at Club Spiral on July 19th.
And we're going to have demonstrations, a spanking booth.
Yes, a spanking booth. That's what I'm excited. So these bitches can come and get their ass spanked. All right, well, I'm really excited about today's show. One of the inspirations that I got to do this podcast thing and this whole, just talk for a whole, however long and let people listen, was from RuPaul, first of all, and then also Ross Mathews.
Yes.
He has a really good podcast called Straight Talk with Ross.
I love Ross Mathews.
I love Ross Mathews. I've loved him since The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
My other best friend that's not you, which is Justin Durkee.
Well, everybody, but Roger, you say everybody is your best friend.
No,
everybody's your best friend.
No, I have
5,000, you have 5,000 Facebook best friends.
I have 5 friends that I like the most out of anybody in the world. Okay. And Justin Durkee is one of my top people.
Yes. Justin Durkee. Justin Durkee was on VH1's Ton of Cash.
Absolutely.
Very tall, very effeminate, just soft-spoken, kind of high-pitched voice. Ross Mathews, but he's fun. We have to have him on the show.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a lot like Ross Mathews. It's wonderful.
So, Ross actually is kind of near and dear to my heart. Because recently I was in a relationship and I decided, I guess we both really decided that it wasn't really working anymore, the way that the relationship was going. And I didn't know how to kind of end it. I didn't know how are we going to do this? How are we going to move on from this? And Ross Mathews was actually the person who gave me the words. He was talking on his podcast about,
And he said, buy her a gift card.
That's not what he said. Okay, so I went and bought a gift card, but I'll get to that. He said, if you can be with that person, great. If not, give that person their freedom to do whatever they want and to just fly free. That's what he said. Go, let that person fly. And so that's what I decided, that's what I have to do. And so I'm going to give your freedom as a gift. But, I also read on, Instagram or whatever, because I was thinking about breaking up. How do you break up? And I didn't want it to be like a break up. I wanted it to be like a break in a different direction. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to be negative. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I got a little gift card. I gave the gift card and I said, I also want to, give you as a gift your freedom to do whatever you want and to be able to, blah, blah, blah. I won't get into, our personal thing. But I was like, this is your gift. You can do whatever you want. And Ross Mathews was what gave me that. So I really appreciate that. And on that note, I am ready to get into episode number 2 of our podcast. Are you?
Yay!
Great. All right, so joining us live in the studio is, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Maria Mirelez.
Oh, it's me.
It's you, bitch. Hi, Maria.
Hi, how are you guys? Good to see you guys.
Good to see you as well. Thanks for being here.
I don't know
Thank
how
you
good
guys.
it is to see you.
It's good. Well,
thanks for having
It's
me
never, like,
anyway.
my favorite day when I see Maria.
Considering that
it's nobody's favorite day.
we are all going to be living in a shoebox in LA soon. We better get used to it.
Well, I've been in, I think, like a shoebox with. I know what it's like to be in a shoebox with Roger, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've all kind of lived together at
some
one
way,
point.
somehow.
Yeah, it's been a lot of long-term.
I've lived with you vicariously through DJ LipGloss.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah,
I've lived with you vicariously through. I feel
DJ
like,
LipGloss.
honestly. Yeah, and I also feel like I've almost lived with Britney Spears.
Oh, God.
Britney Spears and Cinderella.
That is, you guys have to understand, Maria is the biggest Britney Spears fan that there could possibly be.
Well, I wouldn't say biggest.
She knows every
No, not big. I mean, you're a good figure. You got your size
thank
about
you.
you. She's
Every
a petite thing.
You want a hot body?
You better order it.
Dance move.
She knows it all. Every video.
Every
hair
single,
flip.
Oh,
even the
The bitch
live
knows
version.
it.
You have to have your hair on
Yes.
down.
Even the
live
European versions, all of it.
Done.
She knows it.
Oh, stop. You're making me blush.
But it's true.
Now, when we moved to LA, Maria's sleeping in the bathtub, and we're putting a lock.
And you know what? I think that's
Why would you do that?
You know what? But there's your fucked up situation. You guys are gonna put a lock on it, but you don't realize I'm putting a lock on the other side. So
So
when
you
you
can't
guys
get in.
can't shit in the middle of the night, then you can come and knock in on my door, and I can play that Britney Spears song. Don't go knocking on my door.
Whatever. I'm still tripping that you want to live in the shit room.
Girl, not the shit room. I mean, it'd be my own personal shit room. Because I could literally wake up, turn the water on, play I Woke Up Like This.
And we're talking about when we live in LA.
And take a shit. Yeah, and this is what's gonna happen. We're laying out.
We're willing to do whatever it takes.
I'm
to
ready
make
to
it
move
happen.
on from this particular topic.
Girl,
Well, we were introducing Maria.
Nobody wants to live with Roger.
We were introducing Maria. So Maria is a huge Britney Spears fan. She's competed in numerous pageants here in the state of Michigan, and she's also one of my very best friends and sisters. So Maria is joining us today.
Yay!
Yeah, so let's get right into the questions that we have from our listeners. Have a lot of good ones. And I'm just going to keep these anonymous just to, I don't want anybody getting any more popular from this podcast than us. Okay, so the first queen, she has said, Miss Thing, you think you fears. And I'm just playing. So the first person asked, how do you feel, and Maria, I want you to join in with this. This is why you're here. I want your point of view as well.
Yeah.
How do you feel RuPaul's Drag Race has affected drag in Michigan? What do you say?
I am going to start off by saying I don't necessarily think it's affected drag in the way that people would think it affects drag. Like,
what do you mean?
I think that the drag queens that were already established are still the same.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not going to change because of a television
Let's
show.
say you're Nikki Stevens.
But,
I mean, we're talking about Michigan. We're talking about
right.
Nikki Stevens. She's established, and there's others, but she's probably the one.
But I do feel like it has inspired a lot of new up-and-coming little boys to put on a dress and some heels and experience it and try it.
Well, my thing is that
a
lot of it with that and the inspiration turns into copycatism. I think the way that it's changed drag and affected drag in Michigan, I have a couple of opinions, but one is that it's made it seem that there's only one way to do drag, and it's the drag race way. Even though there's, a few different flavors that you'll see on Drag Race, it's mainly pretty girls who make it to the top, and it's a one kind of consistent
pretty weird
look.
Girls.
Pretty and weird has started to work as well.
That's what I think too. The pretty and weird.
Right,
Like nowadays, that's what you have to have. You have to have the best of both worlds.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to know how to do it all. Versatility, definitely. And that's from a actual drag queen aspect, like as a performer. But as like a venue, it definitely has changed. And even here in Michigan, because I know, like, I think it's the Necto on Thursday nights, they would always have a Drag Race girl, whether it was Raven or somebody who was less important than Raven.
Lake is coming. So.
Darian Lake, at a Necto on a Thursday. So, and we're not, cross-promoting or promoting, the question was asked. And then when they don't have a Drag Race girl, nobody is there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like, it has sucked a lot of the life out of the local drag community in general. In the old school, it was like you do a pageant and you get bookings. Mm-hmm. But now,
it's like,
you know, it's these Drag Race girls.
Drag Race,
yeah, they get the headlining spot.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's kind of hard to gauge it from Michigan. There's only one girl who's been on Drag Race who is from Michigan, I believe. No, Dita Ritz was on there, and she went to Eastern.
And she also worked at Spiral.
She did work at Spiral. We worked at the MSU Drag Show. We do work at Spiral. And also Ivy Winters. Yeah. Originally from Grand Rapids. Yeah. When they brought her on, she was a New York queen. So Michigan really hasn't necessarily been
Dita Ritz was a Chicago
represented. Queen. Yes. Yeah. So Michigan has yet to be represented. I would love to do the honors. We'll see. My thing personally about RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm done holding my breath for RuPaul. I've waited, you know, and I've auditioned time and time and time again, and I want to be on bad. But you know what? I'm moving out to LA to make my dreams happen. And I'm not waiting for RuPaul to ring my bell anymore. Yeah. I'm ringing my own goddamn bell. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing is, usually when something like that comes out, there will be so many other knockoffs in other venues. So there would...
And right now, there's really not an alternative. And I think maybe that's why I haven't. Because I think us going to LA, I think maybe will be the alternative. And so it's like, Ru, either have me on your show or die.
I'll be there.
Or I'll be the end of you.
I'll see you when I get there.
There's room for other drag themed shows.
There is. There's a lot of room.
Drag themed game shows. You know, what about drag themed Fear Factor?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm terrified already.
I mean, and then
what would a challenge be?
The lip sync battle.
Yes, you're so right. That's so queeny.
It's lip syncing. It is very
so
queeny.
Right.
And they even they do one number regular, you know, like this is me, and then they actually suit up and put their drag on, and they come out and they do a number.
And I love seeing The Rock do that.
Girl, he knew every word to that Taylor Swift song.
What would a contest be on Drag Queen Fear Factor?
Girl.
Well, they would have to be in full drag. Would, you know.
Yeah, but how would it be?
Like, you would want to make them eat bugs.
Yeah, you'd make them do crazy shit.
I would want them to have to rip off a duct tape tuck with no lube. If you want to win, you gotta rip your tuck off.
That's more of a silent library game.
Oh my god!
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
that on MTV.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Very Asian kind of a thing.
Yeah, I auditioned for that before it came out.
I heard.
I drove to New York City and auditioned.
So you went from Lansing, Michigan, and drove out to New York City.
Yep, and auditioned in the MTV studios in Times Square.
How long of a drive was that?
13 hours.
How long was the
auditioning?
That's not
bad.
But then, okay, how long was the auditioning?
But we drove 13 hours in an ice storm.
Oh.
And we spun backwards and hit a wall on the highway.
You're kidding. You almost died.
Going the wrong way in traffic. And we got there late because of it. So we were literally checking into our hotel at the time of the original audition. So I called the producers and said, hey, we're here from Michigan. We're checking into our hotel. And they said, okay, come to the next audition, and we'll fit you in with these other people. And so I was like, okay, great, that's awesome. They're willing to work with us.
Right.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Well, did you tell them you almost died? They would. I mean, you think that they would feel obligated?
I wasn't trying to give them a sob story.
So you should have. You probably would have got on the show.
I was trying to just be professional about it and very blended.
Long story short, you didn't get the gig, right?
No, but what happened was we went into the MTV studios and we waited with these people, some of them who did get the gig because I saw them on the show, and we had no idea what it was, what was going on. They didn't tell us. They just said it was a reality game show.
Did you know it was for MTV?
Yeah, because we were at the MTV studios.
How old were you? How long ago was this?
This was about 7 years ago, I think. Okay. It was right before the show aired. So whenever the show aired.
So you're 22, 23. Yeah. Something like that.
So we get there, and we're so exhausted, and we've been in a car all day, and we are just Miserable, yep. And we threw on clothes.
And you just wanted to make it happen.
We had to walk from the hotel to the MTV studios, which our hotels in Times Square, so it's fine.
And this is a trip that you paid for yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God. So we went out there, and I was so sweaty. I could not stop. Like, my hair was wet. So they're doing, like, a practice filming
and
of
you're
the
just
show.
dripping.
And I am, like, it is pouring down my face. And I cannot fathom
you look like
life
Latrice
because
Royale.
I felt sick.
No.
I wanted to vomit.
Yeah, you were just not in your element.
And then they're like, it was a food challenge that they gave
Gross.
us. So they gave us, it was like this piece of bread, and they poured molasses and tuna fish and all sorts of and maple syrup. There was all sorts of just gross crap on this piece of bread, and they made us eat it.
Girl,
in front of the camera to see our reaction.
Oh my God.
To see if we would make
Maria,
any noise.
do you remember, that reminds me, Maria, there was on your 16th birthday, because we've known each other a long time.
Yeah, long time.
We played Fear Factor.
What did we do?
Really? Okay,
Oh my God.
I played Fear Factor.
Yeah.
They dared me,
Oh
or
my God.
Fear Factored me into
Girl,
eating a
everything.
cup
of just everything we could
ketchup,
find.
mustard, relish.
I think relish was in
Orange
there.
pop.
I think maybe some peanut butter.
There was no alcohol.
Chocolate syrup,
oh
caramel
my God.
shit. Girl, just the grossest
and
concoction.
I had to drink it. And you know what I got for it?
What?
Nothing.
Girl.
Nothing.
Funny.
Let's get back into these questions because I don't want to stray too far away from our questions that our listeners were so kind to answer. So, how has the drag scene been affected by RuPaul's Drag Race? So you say it hasn't, and I mean,
it's caused inspiration, and it gives people a goal.
and it's taken some of our jobs away.
Yeah,
it
and
has.
so yay RuPaul.
Yay, but
for
yeah,
affecting the
whatever.
world in whatever way
Anyway.
it affected it.
So, another person asked, how do I motivate myself to do the things that I really want to do? I struggle with dieting and saving money because I plan things, but I always fall flat when it comes to following through.
Okay. So all I'm going to say about this, that's your fault.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you say you're planning, but you're not really planning. Or if you had a plan, you wouldn't fall flat.
You're not motivated. You don't care. If you really wanted to do it, you would get up and you would do it.
You would get it done.
Right.
But here's the thing, though. And I hear that, maybe you need some help with that. Really, when you're talking about making this plan, really see it through. Are there holes in the plan? Fill them in. Make it more than just kind of a flat thing.
You have to set rules for yourself.
You need to spend time on it.
And you have to set punishments for yourself for breaking those rules.
What would a punishment be?
Well, it depends on what we're doing. If you're dieting and you
cheat.
And you cheat and you break the rules.
You eat some
then
McDonald's.
you have to do 10 extra minutes on the treadmill type.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
do you know what I'm saying?
Goals and
because I don't know what
punishments
you're
for
doing
yourself.
with your punishment.
But here's the thing: is you have to follow through with those goals and with those punishments. And if you want to get somewhere in the world and you want to do something,
you have
and
to
you
really
want to lose weight, you have to put your mind to it.
Every single day, you have to do something to get closer to that goal.
The weight loss isn't going to come on its own for you. It's like, okay, so it's like astrology. It can give you all the information you need, and it can tell you when the planets are going to be aligned, and when the opportunities are going to be there.
What?
Like when you get your astrology chart read, it tells you when the planets are going to align.
Like it has your calendar.
And it basically
it tells you your future.
Well, kind of. It tells you what your future could be, but you still have to get off the couch and
to be
you
the
still
one
have
to do it. Yes.
Like it's going to tell you that on this date these opportunities are going to open up for you, and you have the opportunity to do all these things, but that opportunity's there, but bitch, you have to take it.
It's very
you got to run with it.
When you guys were talking on your last session, when you guys were talking about the butterfly effect, you have to be very you have to be, but the butterfly effect can be a good thing. You just have to be able to be that butterfly to flap your wings in order to make this tidal wave of opportunity.
You have to own your destiny.
I'm going to say being a bigger guy and having fluctuated in weight loss is hard. It is
all of us have been there.
It is a mental struggle.
Yeah.
And it's
a huge
real
commitment.
addiction, and it's hard. And sometimes you just want to say fuck it and you want to eat the world. And it sucks. It sucks and it's painful. But I'll tell you that just as easily as you gain it, people can lose it. And a lot of it, people focus so much on exercise.
It's about what you eat.
It's 80% diet and 10% exercise and 10% genetics is what I learned when I took my physical fitness.
I'm over here
Sounds
trying to do
about
math, and I'm like, is that 120?
You're like,
that's 80, 10, and 10 is 100.
You're adding too many tens.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm confused.
Oh, sorry.
So, It's literally what are you putting in your body? How much of that are you putting in your body? And you know, it's going to be a lot about counting calories. And then as you lose weight, that's when the exercise is going to come in because you want to keep your body fit and you don't want to lose all this weight and have a bunch of flabby skin. So that's where the exercise comes in, and that's where that helps you, and it keeps you active and it boosts the weight loss.
And not only just that, but there's something about it's hard to get started, but when you get going with a dedicated workout routine, you're going to see results, and you're going to be happier, and you're going to be healthier, and you're going to look good, and you're going to feel good. And it's this perpetual motion thing where once you get started, you become addicted to that.
But it's hard to get up the motivation.
It's hard to get started. But once you get in that pattern, it's hard to stop.
Do it.
I know that
you just
I
have to start it in order for it to be
I hate getting up to work out, but I know that we all used to go to the gym together.
Yeah,
and when we were going to the gym, it's like we gotta go to the gym. And we loved it.
And we were helping each other when one of us was feeling a little bit like...
maybe that's a good answer to your question. Maybe find a support group
for
people who are going to be honest with you and tell you, hey, you're fucking up.
Girl, yeah.
And then, but then also boost you and say, you can do this, I love you, and I know that you can do it.
That's great. I think that's all that we needed. So, another good question, and have a couple more here, but this one I thought was so sweet. She says, my girl has never been treated with respect until getting with me. What can I do to show her that I appreciate her and how she takes care of me? So, I thought that's sweet.
I'm going to comment on this because this is something that I have a lot to say about and that I've been currently living with. Sometimes it's the little things. It's holding
details.
It's holding her hand.
Oh yeah, in public.
And just in public or just for no reason. And it's going up to her and kissing her and telling her that you love her and having noticing
her hair. That's a big thing. Noticing her makeup.
Noticing
her attire. Noticing the little details. Those little tiny earrings.
Girls will
comment
take
on those.
Going on walks. You know,
spending little time doing insignificant stuff. That's not a big deal.
Matter.
Those are the things. Those are the things that make me feel so happy, and those are the things that are the hardest.
Oh my God!
You know what? To get.
You know what makes me feel so pampered? And I was thinking, my initial thought was gonna tell you to make her a meal, make a dinner, put some hard work and love into that, and if you can't cook, figure something out, honey. Make some spaghetti. Just make it yourself and put some hard love into it. But bitch, you know what will make her feel so pampered? Play with her hair. Brush her hair. I always feel so pampered when I get my hair brushed. I feel like Beyonce.
These may not be
gorgeous. Or maybe her feet. Maybe rub her feet.
Those type of people though.
Maybe not, but that's how I would feel.
But that's how small something...
Well, that's a big thing. That's like a big thing.
But I'm saying something as simple as brushing someone's hair.
That's really intimate,
I've been with
people
that love their hair played with or brushed.
Yeah.
Or head rubbed. Something small like that, it makes them feel important.
If you do those things, those little things on a consistent basis, she will feel the appreciation because if she's never been appreciated before, that's going to be a drastic change.
Right. And don't make it like a facade, like a theater performance of, I'm going to do something nice for you.
Just
do it.
Don't say anything. Just
do
be
it.
Sweet. Be a sweet person. Talk to her nicely. You know, maybe
it's not about spending money. It's not about buying the flowers. It's not about buying those little dangly earrings. It's about... I mean, I'm sure she would love that, and maybe your girlfriend is listening and saying, no, I want the money
when
stuff.
She's in the kitchen doing the dishes, walk up
while.
behind her and put your arms around her and kiss her on the neck.
And thank her for washing your dishes.
Or maybe tell her, you know what, I got it from here, because we both dirty these dishes, and we both need to clean them.
Kind of thing, that's cute. Make it like the movie Ghost. Instead of pottery, you just washing each other's dishes.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
Just do cute. You gotta be cute. There's simple things.
Maybe have sex over the dishes.
Or on your island, if you have an island in your kitchen.
But
place her on the table.
I think there's some power bottoms out there who would love to just get banged while they do the dishes. And that bottom would do those dishes. There wouldn't be a spot.
Girl.
Yes, with her gloves.
With the map on the
honey,
floor.
with her Dawn dish soap, there wouldn't be a spot left. But yes, darling, what you need to do is show your girlfriend that she's appreciated. Don't tell her.
Don't rub it
show
in her face that you're showing her.
Yeah.
Just
be cool about it.
Do the
be
big
extravagant
things because every girl, no matter who you are, I don't care. You can be like, oh, this is so nice because you're rubbing my feet. Some girls, they want, take me out to a movie or something every once in a while. Buy the girl a new dress and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
she does,
but she
as
doesn't
a
need that
surprise.
all the time.
Or take her shopping so you know that she likes what you're gonna get.
And
because
get
there's
to
nothing
know
worse
her.
than bringing me home an ugly dress
that you're never
that doesn't
wear.
fit right. That I have to pretend that it's I have to find something.
Oh, this is adorable.
I love them.
When inside you're like dying, you're like, I'm never gonna wear that. It's gonna be the last hanger all the way to the right on the shit that.
It's gonna be a dish rag for when the dogs have a caca party. It's just awful. So take her shopping.
I hope you know what, and fuck it, just keep the receipts. Just keep all your receipts.
Yes.
Gift receipts are great too. Because then, we girls, if you do buy us an ugly sweater or an ugly dress, we can just secretly take it and get something better. And then your feelings aren't hurt.
Bed Bath & Beyond, that's a one-size-fits-all. No, not the Bed Bath & Beyond. Is that right? Yeah, the one with, like, the lotions. Mm-hmm. Those lotions fit anybody.
That's Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works. Oh my god. The hand sanitizers. I know they have like they have like blenders. Yeah, just give that bitch a blender. Bitches love blenders.
Okay. Can we make that into a t-shirt?
Yes.
Girl, bitches love blenders. I would wear that. That'd be cute.
Bitch, and do like a whole juicing thing, because you know they're into juicing in LA. That could be a thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that.
Bitches love blenders.
Blenders,
I like that. Hashtag blenders. Bitches love blenders.
Okay. So I have one final question here. And it's actually something that I had to educate myself a little bit on. And I don't know if you guys know about this. It's called, she said, why isn't everybody using PrEP? Now, DJ LipGloss, do you know what PrEP is?
I know what PrEP is. PrEP?
Maria, do you know what PrEP is?
I was just getting ready to say, is it P-R-E-P? PrEP. Just PrEP.
Like a PrEP rally.
That's
okay.
a pep rally.
Girl, PrEP rally.
So
I've
PrEP
heard
rally.
of this.
If you don't know what PrEP is something that you can take. Okay, if you're gonna
pill, right?
If you're gonna be sexually active,
is it a pill or is it a vaccine?
It's a pill.
Okay.
If you're gonna be sexually active and you do not have HIV and you are not trying to contract
or
HIV,
you're not sure,
right? Or you're not sure,
and you also don't want to pass it.
Yeah,
or you don't want to use a condom.
Basically,
PrEP is like it's a pill that you can take so that the HIV will not enter your system.
It's less likely. They say it's 97% effective.
Yeah.
And my friend who asked me about it said that everybody in West Hollywood is taking PrEP.
Yeah, still using condoms. Hopefully.
I would hope so too.
Yeah,
because I mean, 97. Isn't it 98.9 with a condom?
I don't know, but there's still
like that.
I just.
Here's the thing.
That's like
you
you
have those people who just aren't going to use condoms, and they're not.
Sure,
you
and
never tell them to.
And
that's
most of them are
personal choice.
Most of them are going to be the
choice.
people that don't care enough to wear a condom. Aren't going to care enough to spend some odd dollars to go get a medication.
Yeah,
do I wish? I wish that they would.
Because
yeah,
it's going to save their life.
Some, but
it could save their life.
There are some,
and they also.
I think it's almost the way I look at it. The way I'm understanding it is it's almost like an excuse, and I could be, really not thinking of this the right way, but it's almost like an excuse to be promiscuous and not use a condom because I'm on my PrEP pill. Just come dump all in me, 10 guys, ass up, anonymous load, Craigslist.com, whatever.
Just took my PrEP pill.
Yeah, took my PrEP pill, come dump.
No,
that's how I kind of. I'm looking at it the wrong way.
I see it as responsible because people who want to live their lives that way and people who want to do those things are going to do those things. So the PrEP is something. It's a great, development in medicine that is going to help these people to be safe and to stop the spread of the disease.
Definitely.
So that the people who,
for those that care, yes, I think it's awesome.
I
still say if you care that much enough to go out on a limb to get a pill to take,
you're saying at least use a condom.
Some people
still use the condom.
Definitely.
Some people don't want to use them. You can't tell them to, but if they can use the pill, it can help them. It gives them that option
and stop the spread of HIV altogether. And that's what I love because it's one step closer to a cure. It's not a cure, but it's preventing it from spreading further,
Well,
which
in addition,
I love. I don't love the idea, like Maria's kind of saying, of being overly promiscuous, just dump all over. I mean, if that's what you're into, girl, get into it. I'm not necessarily that promiscuous. I am very sexual. I'm not that girl.
I'm very sexual. I'm not very promiscuous.
But just be safe. So would you take PrEP?
I think it's a responsible thing to do, and if I were single, I would take PrEP, yes.
But you're in a relationship.
I'm in a relationship,
committed, monogamous relationship.
Yes, and I only sleep with my boyfriend.
So you don't have a need for PrEP.
I am 100% confident that my boyfriend is only sleeping with me.
Good.
So PrEP is not something in my life, but it could be even responsible for me to take it now. Who knows?
Just because.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, if I were single, that's something I would definitely look into.
Which, I mean, yeah.
I wonder the side effects. That's something I wonder.
Too. What is
how
is it? Is it a thing that fucks with your immune system?
No.
Is this something that's kind of maybe putting some of that in you so that you're immune to it? Because that's how most vaccines work.
Yeah,
that
when you're getting the flu shot, they're
dosages.
giving you a little dose.
I've heard that there's not very many side effects, and it's a pretty simple drug.
I'm always a conspiracy theorist.
I've also heard that there is a pill that you can take. So like if you were promiscuous and you weren't on PrEP, and you were out,
like at the white party.
Yeah, so you go out and you have sex with somebody, and somebody tells you later that person has HIV, and you're like, oh my god, I just had sex with them. There are certain
the morning
hospitals.
After.
Yeah, there are certain hospitals you can go to that carry a pill now that can stop the spread of HIV into your system up to 3 days after.
That's good.
We're coming so far with this technology.
That's great.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Do you think, I almost think, and I think maybe I've read it online somewhere, I almost think that they have to have a cure for HIV somewhere. You know what I mean? Do you think that they do and they're just kind of holding out because they want to make money?
The way the drug companies work, obviously they're money driven.
That's a yes.
Also, things have to be tested for a long period of years, for a long period of time. To be proven and to be put on the market. And I'm not going to say that there's not cover-ups in the drug industry and that there's not, scandals. But what I am going to say is that it makes sense that there could be a cure out there, but they're testing it. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to, because we're so far, why wouldn't we have a cure?
What about Area 51? What do you think about that? Do you think aliens are real?
I absolutely think aliens are real. I'm not going to comment on Area 51 because I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
Girl, I've seen a UFO. I'll just put it that way.
Really? Did you see the inside?
No, I didn't see the inside. They didn't penetrate me or anything. But it was an unidentified object. It wasn't like I wasn't sure what I. Girl, that was a fucking mile-wide frisbee.
It was a June bug in my mouth.
No.
I didn't know what it was.
I was on my way home, and the thing that tripped me out the most was I lost my wallet that night, and it had everything in it. Of course, me, dumb.
So the aliens were.
But anyway, no, I was like riding at home, and I'm like in the back seat. My parents are driving, and all of a sudden I see these 3 lights, and they like just shift. And all of a sudden they disappear. But it was all stars after it disappeared. It was weird. I'm not weird. It's okay.
It's weird. I'm not weird. It's okay. I'm not okay. I'm tripping. I'm not tripping.
I do very much believe in aliens. And I do.
Well, yeah. I mean, how can you imagine that there's this...
That we are the only life...
universe that is endless and limitless that you can't even fathom the ends of it and think that we're the only things that are alive?
But that's the weird thing that they're talking about now. I was just watching this thing on the History Channel the other day, and it was talking about the fact that what if they're not other beings, but they are our beings from, future, from, different time zones, and that's why they're only here for so often, and then they leave, and then they come back, and it's just this and this and that.
Well,
History Channel, really get into it. It's got some really weird shit on there, but it's good weird shit.
I like the History Channel and the Discovery Channel. I don't watch TV.
It goes back as far as,
remember there was those ghost stories that we used to listen to?
Those would
Tom Jones or something like that.
Oh my
we would drive, and we would be driving to a gig out of town.
Or away from a gig
a few hours out of town. and just listen to those alien ghost stories.
Do you remember the one time when it was really, really foggy out, and it was like one of my first times ever listening to it with you, and you were like, girl, yeah, I listen to it all the time. I was like, aren't you scared like something's just gonna pop out of grass? Like a deer's gonna
And then there was
pop
a deer.
out. And then there was a fucking deer!
Yeah, it was a deer.
You
Yeah,
know,
it was like Maria spoke it right
out. In our
out.
last podcast, we talked about my crazy mother. My mother saw a flying saucer when she was a little kid.
You were talking about that.
And she witnessed it with a lot of other little kids, and some adults, and she actually saw it up close.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Girl, she slept with Kenny Rogers. I'm sure she knows what she's talking about.
I wouldn't believe it.
I don't even believe she slept with Kenny Rogers, if we're being honest.
I don't know if she had sex with Kenny Rogers, and if she dated Kenny Rogers. She did have sex with Vincent Price. That's my mother's life.
I wonder what it was like. He was probably like talking all ghoulish, like he did in the.
I wouldn't believe it from most people.
That wasn't Kenny Rogers.
That wasn't Kenny Rogers. That was Vincent Price.
Oh, that was
me.
Oh, Vincent Price.
I'm sitting there I'm listening to your guys' last session, and I'm like, you don't. You're
like, you know who Vincent Price is?
Like, hello.
Okay, I got you.
You're like, oh, good, got it.
Thank you.
So, anyways, I wouldn't believe it from most people, but I do believe it from my mother. Because that's not something she would want to look crazy like that. And she...
Vincent Price isn't somebody she would brag about.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying...
From, the UFO.
From the UFO, yeah. Okay. Seeing the flying saucer. Exactly. And it was just a crazy thing that happened to her when she was younger. And she wasn't that little.
Listeners, what are your experiences with UFOs, the extraterrestrial, supernatural, ghosts, angels... That kind of thing. Weird shit. We want to know, don't we?
Do you like the show
Supernatural?
Because
I think... Maria, stop making so much noise.
I'm trying
I think if you're...
If
you've seen that, I want to have you on the guest. I want to consider your sanity. And question.
This is serious business.
Okay.
I don't think we should patronize people.
Anyway, let's move along. I have another topic that I want to talk about. And actually, Maria was mentioning it to me earlier.
Oh, God.
Tell us... Okay.
I say so much stuff
so we're gonna,
driving in the car, so yeah.
Let's talk about this. Okay, and listeners, you chime in too and tell us, what you think about that.
Oh, okay.
Maria, let's talk about that date that you went on. Was it a date? Was it not a date? How did this happen?
It was weird.
So tell us. She's a single girl.
Yeah, and I'm just doing my own thing, whatever. This is the longest that I've been single, actually.
Good
very long time. And it's great. But, you're so rude. I love it. God. No, I hit up somebody because I was like,
you hit up a boy for a little bit of a maybe booty call.
Well, he had given me his number a while ago.
Okay.
And
he wanted you to hit him up.
Yeah, he'd given it to me like a while ago, and I never really thought about hitting him up, but I needed somebody to talk to that time. And
have you guys ever had like a sexual conversation or like a flirty conversation?
We've had flirty, but I think he's just really comfortable, and but this last, we actually went out and we ate. He tried to pay for my food, which was really, really sweet. But I didn't let him because I was just like, I don't know. It just felt a little bit awkward to me.
You went out to eat.
But we went out to eat, and I don't know, while we were sitting at the diner, it was very, like, asking me questions, you know, very like, oh, well, when did you know? And how did you know?
Know what?
Very, it came off.
Is this something you're comfortable talking about?
Yeah, I'm just not gonna, naming names.
We're just not gonna tell who this person is.
I'm sharing my experience because this is just
what we're trying to figure out is this guy
into me or not? And I can't.
Did they go on a date or not? And Maria and the guy supposedly up until this point we're assuming that he's straight.
Which I mean.
Okay, well here's the thing.
Yeah.
He's told you he's straight,
Maria,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Maria is a trans woman, though, so he can be straight.
Yeah, and I think that's why he was questioning, because I'm not your, you turn on your TV, Laverne Cox is a transsexual woman. Pre-op. I'm completely pre-op, so I'm wondering if it was him more questioning himself at the same time trying to get information
I
on
don't
me
think he would have gone out with
get
you
his
and
own
offered to pay for the meal.
Yeah.
If he wasn't interested. I think that he would have found a reason to bow out early and not have spent so much time with you.
And investigate.
He may not know what he wants to do with the interest.
Well, and that's the thing, because I told, like we were saying, I was talking to Ace about this earlier, and I had brought up the fact that he had brought up, almost like they were innuendos.
Yeah.
To, like, getting,
And we have to put this in a time frame for the listeners. We're talking, they're going out to the diner, and it's like after midnight.
Yeah, I had hit him up at
this is not
11
noon.
o'clock at night.
This is not, the sun is not out. This is
no, I had hit him up at
hours.
like 11 p.m. and
so you hit him up at 11,
like 11 or 11,
and he came out of the house.
Yeah.
Okay, so that to me that's a booty call. Anything after 10 o'clock is a booty call. You have intentions on your minds that Christians, women's. Don't talk about it at church on Sunday.
It's okay.
So,
but
he was booty call, and Roger, you say he's interested.
I think that he's somewhat interested. He has to be, or he wouldn't have spent that much time with you.
Now, what were the innuendos that he was dropping?
Very I was telling him about something, and it came across to the point where he had said, "Oh, well, when I got your text, I was just hopping out of the shower," or. I can't really necessarily remember if he had talked about it being before that he had gotten the message and then he had just kind of
gotten into the shower.
Because he was playing it back and forth.
For you.
For me, and it wasn't quite adding up. So I'm not even sure
what the tea was.
If he was kind of telling me that, oh, well, I knew that I was going to be, seeing you tonight, so I'm going to get in the shower.
Yeah.
So
or if he was like, I was texting you when I was in the shower. Either way, he
probably just took a shower so that he was presentable.
Yes, but why would you do that if it wasn't a date?
And at 11 p.m.
Well, and even for a booty call, you want a shower.
That's what I'm
saying. But
he's into her.
Yeah. Okay.
He's into her. He took a shower to meet.
Yeah.
He wants to get intimate, and he wanted you to think about him taking a shower.
He might be just a clean person, though.
That's good.
Which is really good.
Oh my god, when you said that, I got so turned on. No, oh my god.
You heard gosh,
me and Maria both. That's
oh
good.
My god,
give us clean. Girl, he's 500 pounds and his dick is as big as his tooth.
Good
but
god.
He's clean.
Okay.
Gotta be a big tooth.
I'm clean. But, no, so I guess he's into me. I don't know, maybe I'm just, girl, I mean, you guys know I'm really bad when it comes to...
I think, yeah, and that's...
Getting at people. I'm used to getting hollered at.
Because he's so new and so curious, I think he's kind of looking for you to make a move on him.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Especially because you texted him first. You kind of already have been the initiator this whole time. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of waiting for you to initiate because that's what you did.
Because he's
kind of like the only thing that I'm going to say, personally, as your friend, and for all of the listeners out there, is this is the type of thing you're further along in your life and your understanding of yourself than to step back and try to be with somebody to educate them. So, this is not a realistic option for you.
It's a realistic option for a booty call.
For
a booty call.
For a booty call.
Not for a
realistic romantic option.
For sure. No.
Because you guys are not in the same place mentally.
Girl,
your experience, you're like in graduate school of college and he's like freshman of junior high.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Like he doesn't And I agree with you there, and I thank you for pointing that out because we don't like to be somebody's like experiment.
No, never, girl.
See, am I into this?
Yeah.
Because then if you're not, then my feelings are really
girl. I've been placed.
You know what I mean?
I've been
because we invest ourselves so much into other people, and then just to have them, be wishy-washy with us.
This wasn't what I thought it should have been.
Yeah.
The only reason why I can't say is that
just think about that. Think about that in your own lives. If you're listening to this, are you guys on a level playing field, or even close to level?
With
just
your companion.
Yeah.
With your companion, and I definitely think if you're questioning your relationship, bring it up to your partner. Have that open line of communication there. Because you folks at least deserve the, fighting chance to make that relationship work. And if it's going to go down with a fight. You know what I mean? At least really try. And I guess, I'm speaking to myself in the past tense or whatever.
Okay. So I wanna take this topic and kind of go in a different direction with it. So we're not necessarily
a downer
or boring people.
Okay.
So
what you got planned, girl?
There's been something that's been getting on my nerves and it's been bothering me.
Oh boy, are we going into your rant?
Where I can go on a rant.
Let's do the rant.
Let's talk about rants about it. It's fine.
God, I can't believe it.
So I've been getting, and speaking of lady boys and boyish ladies and gender fluid people.
Okay.
My boyfriend is very gender fluid.
Yes.
He looks a lot like a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He's a beautiful man.
Yes.
He looks like a Calvin Klein model. He's wonderful.
Very androgynous, very kind of feminine, strong bone structure, obviously male. Usually has a lot of facial hair.
Yeah, and he's cut from top to bottom.
Yeah.
But he's really skinny, and from the back, because he has long hair down to his butt.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's in braids.
Honey, she had that 6'13", girl, 2 feet long, queen.
People think that he's a woman, and so there's two different sides of this rant, because he was outside hula hooping for 45 minutes the other day. And in that 45-minute period...
Because that's what he does for his work. That's part of his
he balances
trade.
Swords on his head. He's a belly dancer.
Yes.
And he
and he's
hula
good at
hoops,
what
and he's a
he does.
contortionist. And so he was outside hula hooping and just practicing in our yard, in our neighborhood. And people were whistling and hollering at him and saying vulgar things to him because they thought he was a woman because his hair was long and he was in some bib overalls.
I can understand people saying "work queen" because she's out there giving a show, twirling it, twirling with her hula, but being vulgar.
They were being vulgar.
Like how so?
They were whistling.
What were they saying?
Well, I wasn't there, but I'm relaying what he was speaking
Did he give
to
more
me,
detail?
and I've seen people do this to him. But so he had for example, he had a car whistle at him.
The car whistled. The patrons inside, they didn't mind, but the car itself whistled.
The patrons inside whistled at him. Anyways, so when he turned around and they realized it was a man, they were basically like, "Fuck you, you fucking faggot!" Like they were.
It's
pissed
like,
off.
how dare you?
How dare you turn me on?
How dare you turn me on?
Yeah.
They were angry, and I was like,
"How dare you arouse royalty?"
Okay.
Queen Carlotta is very pissed.
Yeah, I was like,
"You'll now be punished by my royal servants."
You whistled at him, and I was like, "You were the one.
You initiated this.
Yeah, you initiated this. You were a jerk to begin with because
you were being a dickhead.
Yeah, and you obviously found something attractive, and it pissed you off that you found something attractive because you mistook a male body for a female body.
Okay. Yes.
And so,
which you are attracted to him. Point blank.
You are just attracted to an angle of him.
You're just embarrassed when you turn around at your friends.
So to turn around and call him a faggot or to call him...
It's self-hatred.
That's
calling that to yourself.
That's calling yourself that, exactly.
And that's been happening a lot lately, and it really bothers me. And, me and my boyfriend were fighting, and he was explaining to me, "You'll never understand how I feel, and you'll never understand what I go through, because you look like a man and you come across as a man and people don't treat you the way that they treat me." And I can understand that because I felt it at times, so I can
because you're a fag.
I can sympathize.
A lot of the times, Roger, you're very gay.
Yeah. Well, and I can sympathize. Gay. I can sympathize with, the things that get said to him and how he feels. But at the same time, I'll never have his experiences.
Right.
I will never be in his mind, and I'll never have his emotions.
Right.
So I will never know how he feels.
Sure.
And so, but it's something that really has been bothering me because people are so raunchy and vulgar, and they have no remorse for it, and you never know what's gonna set somebody off.
Yeah.
And so, and then also, I mean, you get all sorts of jerks, especially in the city, because you have people, you're bumping your music in a Grand Dam, and you think that you are something.
Yeah.
You think you are just, and then you're going to call me a faggot. And I'm like, you think that you are the greatest thing on earth.
With your half of a hubcap.
Yep. And
Bitch, you're in Lansing,
you're rusted
Michigan.
out, $1,000 car. You know, and it's like, I don't care what kind of car you drive, and I'm not saying that it's bad to have a Grand Dam, but to show off and to
belittle somebody else,
right? What are you showing off? You're not showing off anything. Your car's not that nice. You know what I mean? If you're driving around in a Benz and you're bumping your music and you want to show off, I'll be like, okay.
Okay, call me a faggot, fine.
Well, no, not okay, call me a faggot.
Okay, I guess you could have that car.
No, like, okay, at least you have something to show off. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, people just have a lot of audacity.
I totally disagree with you there about the whole Benz thing. I don't think that has anything.
It doesn't have anything to do with it. But my thing is like, especially, do not come for me
if you're in a fucking Grand Dam.
If you're
in a goddamn Grand Dam, we're gonna have a big fucking problem.
Trash.
Right? I mean, it's bad either way, but especially don't do it, you know, in your painter's pants. Driving your girlfriend's crap car, you know, no job coming from me on the side of the road.
Right.
Because you have nothing better to do, and for some reason my presence has offended you.
That's what my thing is. Oh. Why do you need to say something because I'm a faggot? Obviously, because I've been a faggot a long time, honey, and I've been called a faggot many, many times. And I have become to embrace my faggotry. And why is it that my free-flowing faggotry bothers you so much? I'm fagging out over here, bitch. It don't have nothing to do with you. I'm not bringing you hate faggotry. I'm just happy fag.
I'm not comfortable right now with the way that you're using the word.
The word faggot.
Because you're not a faggot.
Well, but
no, listen.
It's an endearing. Let me explain why I'm using it that way. Because it's an endearing term that I've taken the punch out of, and it's my word to be able to use, and it's similar to a bitch. You know how all queens call each other bitch, 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 and girls call each other bitch, bitch, bitch. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm saying fag by fag, and I can understand it is derogatory and it doesn't sound nice, but that's me just owning the word so that it doesn't own me. So
well, my thing is okay. So you're gonna call me a faggot, and the original term faggot came from, it was a bundle of 10 sticks, and what they would do is they would take a bundle of gay people and they would tie them together, or people that were assumed to be gay, and they would burn them alive, and they would. It was like a celebration. And they would cheer, and they would call them faggots because it was like a bundle of sticks. So basically, when you call me a faggot,
I definitely heard the bundle of sticks thing.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
What you're saying to me
never heard
is
the fire
that
thing.
Yeah, they would burn gay people alive.
Whoa.
And that's where the term faggot came from. That's why we started getting called faggots. And so when you call me a faggot, what you're saying to me is you deserve to be burned alive at the stake with your peers.
I don't think that's what they're saying.
While I cheer. That's not what they're saying.
They don't know.
But that's how you
hear.
That's what I hear. Okay. You are telling me that I am the lowest scum of the earth, that I should be burning alive right now while you're cheering for me. I try not to be so sensitive because most of the time I don't care. If you can't
give that other person the power to make you so upset.
If you say something to me, if I don't know you and I'm not personally involved with you, like it does not affect me whatsoever. Yeah. But at the same time, there are so many people where they do take it to heart, and they do, and I can see where that comes from. And so when you throw the word faggotry around so loosely, I get what you're saying, but it's so, such a mixed message for people because other people don't understand that.
But it's one of those things, and I totally understand. You're right. It's very similar to the N-word, that people throw around, and it's like, okay, you can use the N-word, but I can't. It's very similar to the F-word.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
No, I don't want to either. I'm not saying that I'm jealous. I'm saying I can understand how that could sound coming out of my mouth, using the F-word and being like, oh, I can use it, but you can't kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard habit to break, though.
Right.
So that's why I use it. It is definitely a hard habit.
And I have gay qualities, and I have.
What are some of your gay qualities?
I have a gay voice.
Okay, you have a gay voice.
Because I'm DJ LipGloss, I wear makeup for work.
You're judgy. Do you think that's your gay? Do you think you're gay judgmental?
I don't. I think
you're
I'm
judgy gay.
You're gage-mental.
I don't think that's because I'm gay. I think that's because it's my personality.
Okay.
And it's not even that I'm judgy.
You're judgy.
I have an air about me where it always seems like I feel like
She's like, I have air about me. You should see the way she's doing her hand above her head in a circle, like she's ready to bow.
Okay,
like she is just
or she's
fanning herself, honey.
People tell me
you may bow now.
Waft it all in.
People tell me that I come
she's
across.
like, carry on.
People tell me that I come across like I'm better than other people, and I don't think that whatsoever. So I would not say that that's a gay quality. I talk gay and I wear makeup and I can't help that. I mean, it's my job. It's what I do. It's my personality. It's my persona. It's what I've created for myself. So it is what it is. But I would never say that those are
gay personality.
I would never say that's my faggotry or that's a quality.
No, don't get off your soapbox, Oprah, because I'm sure in the last podcast you call those ugly fags.
Okay.
You call them the uglies.
You called them by
I'm sure
name.
you call them fags.
No, they're my uglies.
God, I was so frightened that
I
he
think
was
you say
name
fags
me.
Sometimes.
But
maybe you don't, but
I say it.
I just had about enough
you
preaching at me.
I do say
you're
it
better
in a
than
negative
me.
way. Like I get pissed. Like when I get mad at somebody.
So you say it.
When you tell somebody they should be burned at the stake.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, you should be my medium rare steak.
And we all, have our double standards with things.
Yeah.
But it is something that bothers me, and it's something that I've been working on, and I don't say as much as I used to. Because of the fact that
I can understand that, and I wonder what the viewers, I wonder what the listeners think.
I talked to the uglies today, and they were still, and I told them.
Did they hear the podcast?
So they're gonna go listen, and I told them what I said in it, and they were living. They were like, I bet you called me the best ugly.
You're kidding.
And they're like, but I'm the prettiest ugly.
Oh my God.
They were like, they were living for it.
That is crazy.
They love it.
So let's wrap it up. I do want each of us to kind of give the kids one final food for thought to take home with them and kind of chew on. So I guess mine is going to be, kind of be true to yourself, girl, and listen to that voice, bitch. That voice that's telling you what it just said, go do it.
Unless it's telling you to go to the zoo and free all the monkeys. Then don't do it.
Is that what your voice said?
Sometimes I think that I should shoot up heroin, and then other times I think not. So
better not.
Better not. Yeah, you know.
I'm just gonna say, live life, take it day by day, and just be you and live in the moment, and don't worry so much about time constraints, because time's not forever. And you only have this one moment to be in it and to live it. And
yes,
to see it
I think what you're saying
there.
is be in the present.
Yeah.
Don't worry about yesterday, what you fucked up. Don't worry about tomorrow, what
Today's
you don't have done yet. Be right here, right now, and really do this moment.
Yep.
And that's,
for every
that's
friend
the
that
only
you've
best
lost,
thing that
there's
you can
another
do.
one you're gonna gain. So it's it's great.
And peace out, man.
Okay, deuces.